Iceman, Sipos, the Williams on the front row of the grid. Keep an eye out in the background for Lil Chegg. That's a Lord Chegwin, who's currently 7th in the championship and has been picking up big results lately. He's starting down in P14 after running out in qualifying, but 5 red lights, it's lights out. We wait for the delay, and that is a start from someone. There's a drive-through penalty for Lord Chegwin. That is absolutely horrendous for him. Mahavir got off really well. I'm not sure if he picked up a drive-through, but Sipos leads the way from Iceman. He's jumped ahead in the confusion. There are cars losing their back ends left, right, and center, but thankfully, nobody is in the wall just yet. I think that's about 4 abreast heading down into Eau Rouge. People are ghosting, driving through each other. Kenneth goes completely wide, loses the back end. I think he spun and dropped to the back of the grid as well. Indeed, he has. It's only Turix who is behind him now, but Mahavir leads from Sipos and Iceman as Mahavir drops down the order. We're going to see what's happened in just a second.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with Mahavir. This might be part of the desynchronization we've been having with the Indian driver. Evidently, the lights went out at a different time to everyone else, but the game did give him a drive-through penalty regardless. I wonder if it's given him one on his end. It might be wing damage for Sipos. I didn't see if he collided with his teammates at all. Maybe with the car of Mahavir, because we saw that going alarmingly slowly at one point. Chegwin's into the pits, Outlaws into the pits, Elon Tusk as well, who looked like he had an incident on the exit of Stavilo or Curveball Frere last time. He lost a couple of positions there, and now he's had to head into the pits as well. Sipos coming out already, so I think that was a drive-through for Sipos. We might have missed that one on the bottom of the screen. And Ruben looking like he's actually maybe thinking about a move on Iceman. He's very close behind the Macedonian, but Iceman holds on to the position for the time being. Turix up into P10, of course. He didn't have to go through the pits when so many others did, so he's been able to benefit there. Connor Sheridan falling down the order, a bit disappointing for him, as that Sipos making his way back up through the field after his drive-through penalty, I believe, is what happened to him as he makes his way up past Turix and past Sudek as well. Over the course of one flat-out section of track, he's passed 2 drivers. This is, well, if this... But here is Luppy now in the slipstream of Ruben as Mahavir makes his way to the top of the standings. I think we can ignore that one, but here comes Luppy, trying to blast past before they even get to the braking zone. It's going to have to beat him on the brakes into Lake Comedy. Doesn't do so, but Ruben getting too late on the brakes, running wide, won't be able to make the chicane, and will have to give the position up to Luppy, who makes his way up into P2 now. Ruben falling down to P3.
P3, that's Ruben. Don't be fooled by Mahavir being first on your screen. As here comes Maverick down the inside on Weeze Racing.
Oh, no.
Oh, he gets squeezed, and that was always going to happen.
Faster than Iceman.
Here
Speaking
comes
of Iceman,
Sipos.
here's his teammate Sipos looking up the inside of Maverick, not going for the dive bomb. Not beginning of Sector 3 on that last lap. Really close behind Maverick. He has the disadvantage of Maverick also having a slipstream of A2 UK. Might not have to worry too much about it, though, as into La Source later on the brakes means the Williams driver takes the position away. Maverick will go for the cutback. Backup is inside. That'll give him a better run all the way along the Kennel Straight, as long as he can manage it through Eau Rouge and Radion. Side by side they go, and it's Sipos around the outside. That is unbelievable driving from the Hungarian, but it's not over yet. Maverick trying to fight back now. The British driver in the Ferrari will have the opportunity into Les Combes. He's already sent it up the inside, and there's been tears once already. This race for him happens again. There's contact again, but this time doesn't fool around. But it is the Williams of Sipos that holds on to the position, and he finally makes his way up into P8.
Linked via some forms of black magic still going on, but Weezer is on the back of Ruben, really closing up, and these two are having a right old scrap. Weeze on the outside as we make our way down towards the La Source. Very late on the brakes there does Weeze go, and that's going to give Ruben a great opportunity. Ruben slots in behind, and he's not going to try the same thing that Sipos did just a few moments ago. P12, because he's really closing in onto Turix, and he's just made the move as well down into the bus stop chicane. Turix gets a little bit feisty, and he taps the rear end of the Racing Point, but that's Lord Chegwin up to P11. Well, actually P10, because Mahavir.
Luppy seems to have got to that point where you're half a second behind the car ahead and you just get stuck there. Ruben into the pits, Sipos into the pits as well. Ruben was actually losing quite a lot of pace on the last couple of laps, so I wonder if he was starting to feel some tyre wear.
Oh, Maverick's having a go at A2 UK for P5 right now, down into the chicane.
No.
Deja vu for the Ferrari driver on the inside, I'm pretty sure, once again, and contact with the side of the McLaren. Maverick, he is going to be absolutely fuming right now.
With a 3-second time penalty, he's going to be so frustrated with how this race has gone. 2 spins already in wheel-to-wheel combat. Iceman heads into the pits. Luppy does the opposite.
Out relative to the Williams of Sipos, who is crossing the start-finish line now, round the outside of Kenners as well for P7. Where is Owen? Owen's making his way through La Source and will feed out behind the pair and actually in between the 2 racing points.
For this one, unfortunately, Luppy into the pits from the race lead. Will almost certainly be undercut by Iceman, though Iceman did have the second half of his lap compromised by being behind A2 UK, who now heads into the pits.
Oh, Luppy's already off.
The Macedonian driver going through La Source now. They're almost side by side with a wall between them. Luppy's not going to be up to speed quite as quickly as Iceman in track position. I think he might have done it. Look at the gap. It's not even that close. From the Renault driver to keep it ahead of Ruben, who definitely had an opportunity to try and claw back to P3. There's Sipos all over his back now as they head down the Kemmel Straight. It's going to be Sipos on the outside, Ruben taking the inside, but he's not even going to be anywhere near close enough when they get to the braking zone to think about defending that one. So we might see a 3-way battle for P9 sooner rather than later. Luppy with a 3-second time penalty, and that might have just thrown it all away for the Mercedes driver. Moment, Sipos makes it 12 seconds of penalties for himself. That's going to be some solace for Ruben, who doesn't have the pace, but will have the consistency. And oh no!
Oh,
that's Sipos. Is that into the wall? Is he just retired on purpose?
Can we ride on board with Owen here, actually? Because he's about to approach. If we just sit on board with his cockpit view. Where is the car?
It's gone. It's been cleared away. Yeah, that's a pretty ignominious end to his title challenge. As now Chegwin around the outside of the first part of the bus stop chicane will make it past Kenners. Kenners not being able to fight back through part 2 of that chicane will slipstream him down up towards La Source, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. His intermediates. It's interesting that Kenners can't seem to hang with these two at the moment, despite the tyre delta between himself and the Alfa Romeo. But now you see Elon Tuss struggling through Blanchimont, can't brake late enough into the bus stop, and Lil Chegwin up into P7 now. Good recovery drive from him. He has, oh wow, major tank slapper on the exit, but manages to get the traction down well enough.
Hasn't picked up a time penalty all race. He's kept it clean. He's done what he's had to. Luppy has shown phenomenal pace and will take the win out on circuit. They make their way through the bus stop chicane. You can start the fanfare because while Luppy takes the win here at Spa, it is Iceman who takes the Premier Exit Championship. But that is your top 10. Iceman from Luppy, from Weiss, from Ruben, Owen in 5th, Maverick in 6th, Lord Chegwin in P7, Elon Tusk, Mahavir, and Kenners complete the top 10.